two banger. Come on, baby. Oh, listen there. Beast. Boys are on. Hey guys, alrighty, me, Petey, Mickey, we're going spearing today, Old Faithful. Well, what have we done? 28 kilometres in a 4 metre tinny with 3 of us. About 20 kilos of cast nets, a heap of dive gear, so we can't really go that far. And the conditions aren't amazing, but the visibility looks pretty good. We got bait all next to us in the water. And then after this, we're going prawning. So stay tuned, hopefully we can put a few fish in the boat here. We're gonna go dive some other areas, and then we're gonna go prawning because they've been on lately.
If you haven't become part of the OL crew yet, then here's your chance. Introducing our exclusive family lifestyle merch, meticulously crafted in-house by Sarah and myself. From warm wet weather gear to versatile tees and unreal hybrid shoes, our designs are tailored to fit your family's unique lifestyle. Elevate your wardrobe now with quality, comfort and style. Shop and experience the difference and enjoy 10% off your first order. I tell you what, it's been a while since we've had good visibility in the bay, and to say that we were chomping at the bit was an understatement. It's been so long since I've speared a fish, I was just hanging. Now, don't quote me on it, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think this fish was about a 50 centimetre snapper. He wouldn't let me get close enough to him to find out 100%, so I could be wrong, but I'm going to call him a snapper. If I could have got one of these, I would have been a happy, happy man. Mickey's first dive and he's seen a jack straight away, so things were looking promising. Except again, this fella, he didn't want a bar of it. But then, things just started to go quiet. Not many fish around at all. We even went to Old Faithful, this big log here, which usually holds big kingfish, big jacks, but nothing. Also got bitten by a wobbegong here, so I'm always keeping my eyes peeled for them. Laying on the ground like this and waiting for a fish to come in is probably the best method rather than swimming around like a madman chasing them. You lose your breath way too quickly. But nothing, just come in for a look. So before heading back to the boat, I did one more dive on this area. There's so much scattered stuff around here, even an old Land Cruiser. This area was holding 0 fish, so I said to the boys, I've got a mark not far from here that we could check. Me and Cez have fished a couple of times and holds good fish. So we went and had a look. Pete was the first man to dive down on this structure, and we do not know what this is. If you have your theories, leave them in the comments below. But this is definitely not natural structure. This is, to us, looks man-made. Almost like a Great Wall of China underneath the water. And it was holding some really good fish. Heaps of tuskies, heaps of cod. This fella just didn't want to be shot. So, Pete just shot the tusky. Got me cover on the case here, so I don't know if you can hear me, but we've come to a new spot. First look, Petey shot something. Don't know what it is yet. What? Hey, Tusky! Next dive down for Pete. Now, you'll see from above here just how long this wall is. dropping off on each side. It's just crazy, crazy structure. Again, I just still can't figure it out. It's almost like the remains of a wreck, but you'll see a bit later, it's way too long to be a wreck. Mickey's first dive down on a new spot. And look at this. It just goes for ages. I tell you what, I am dying to figure out what this is. You can see the sand built up each side of it like there's a lot of underlying structure. One thing is, there's no shortage of fish around it. Even off to the sides you can see structure laying around. This is an epic, epic area. Really keen to find out the history. Anyway, we could have absolutely brained the fish there, so we got a couple and moved on to some ledges. Now these fellas are a daunting fish. Massive, massive Queensland groper, protected species, and it's pretty cool seeing them, but they can be very territorial and they are huge. My first dive down along the ledges, it just feels so much more relaxed when the visibility is decent, especially in the bay. It holds a lot of big bull sharks, and when you can only see 2 meters in front of you, it can feel very uneasy knowing that one of those fellas could be anywhere. But at least you can see them here. You get down to the bottom, stay close to the wall, and they can only get you from one side then. That's my theory. My concentration today was bottom time. Getting to the bottom, relaxing, and just staying there, waiting for a fish to come in. Really concentrating on relaxing this trip, my descent to the bottom was much more slower than usual, and it made all the difference. A guy once told me placing your hand on the ocean bed gives you a sense of calmness, and it definitely works. So if you're relatively new to diving like me, try that. There's a nice little mackerel out to the side here, but my focus was on this cod. But as I was saying before, one hand on the ocean bed just makes you feel a lot more grounded and easier to relax, therefore allowing you to hold your breath for a lot longer. And how's that? Bloody good sized cod. Mickey dove down right on top of this good sized tusky. These fellas around the 45 to 50 centimetre mark are ideal eating. look at that for the viz in the bay. I was diving down there to have a look at some mackerel. These fellas just kept swimming around everywhere, just schoolies. But still would have been great ceviche if I could have got one. A big shovel-nosed shark here off to my right-hand side. This was the last area of the day where the boys were diving. Pete and Mickey were in the water this time. This spot here holds some of the biggest, most aggressive bull sharks in the bay. Whenever I find out that we're going to dive this area, I start getting pretty nervous. And this cod again, he didn't want to get shot. But then Mickey skewered him, and this fella was ready for the barbecue.
Boys are diving. Tide's just starting to roll on out now, so we're going to hightail it, get some prawns, but not before we had one more crack for a tusky. Mickey shot another cod. Oh, yum. How's he shot? Straight in the mouth, straight out the tail. It's ready for the barbecue. Rightio, we're back out the front of Redland Bay here, and there's a heap of boats prawning. Don't know if they're catching them or not yet, but we're going to go and have a little look. Fingers crossed we can get a feed. Pete's promised a VIP prawn night at Thai Tamarind if we can.
Oh, come on through.
What are you cooking, mate?
Got to get on track.
There's a little bit.
I'm going to let this little bit of footage roll here. No one knew Mickey was filming it. I thought it was pretty funny.
And weren't you born with a prawn casting net, Pete?
What should I say?
What you trying to say, Willis?
I was born in Adelaide.
Just keep pulling that thing.
Yep, still prawns under it.
I don't know how to do this, man. I might work.
Oh, you're recording.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I know.
There's,
do you want me to move up? Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? So that's what it looks like. Just so we're coming off it now. So is that
yeah, go.
So if you
What
want,
way are we drifting?
hey?
What way are we drifting?
Right, so there they are.
Oh,
We're coming back on them now, aren't we?
Yeah.
What is that?
Just go neutral there.
Neutral.
There's a massive sea cow about 100 metres behind you there too.
Oh,
Just
really?
coming out of the water like this behind you.
Imagine if you netted one of those. That'd be interesting.
You'll know the whole lot.
Got a few in the first cast.
You do?
Not heaps, but a few.
Come on, mate. What do you got, mate?
There's some prawns.
There's some decent Nice work.
Alright, let's go again. Hey, you got a few in that cast?
Yeah. Come on, boys. Man, the seagull's not a free ride, mate. I'm on prawns. Oh, that's good, man.
There you go.
That's a decent hole. Look at it.
Look at that, big prawns. Lovely, Pete.
Peter Tang got some. Oh, man, you got some decent ones. Look at that. Was a nice haul from both of them.
Did you get one? Did he get one? Nope.
Oh, yeah, little one.
Hey! There you go, look at that.
It's a good haul.
Didn't really do much filming, but went out long and there's some good sized prawns.
They're huge prawns,
I know, Mickey caught his first prawn in a cast net.
mate. Yeah, it was.
It's been a good day.
At the bottom, it's like this big.
No, it's a tiger too. Yeah, look. Mickey's first prawn ever in a cast net.
Tiger prawn.
Caught on camera. Yeah, the seagull.
Seagull's going to weigh a ton to get this back on.
Oh, mate, she's half full of water. She's half full of water.
So she might not have a bilge. She doesn't have a lot of things. She's got a lot of love, though.
Yeah. She did about 60 kilometres today, the old seagull.
She did, eh?
Caught some good fish, some good prawns. Nice we had the pots out and we got a few muddies.
Oh, imagine that. Yeah, just not caught people. I'll wind it up, this is.
Oh, Jimmy, threading the needle. Eh? Whew, home sweet home. Put the aircon straight on. It is boiling hot today, dead set. Feels like about 35 degrees and really, really humid. Right, gonna do a bit of a tidy up now. Look at this. It's where the old boat used to live. Yep, the old boat is gone. The centre console. So, a little bit of a stab to the heart every time I look in that area. Alright, the fun part. I dead set need to wash this concrete because it's too hot to stand on at the moment. Oh, boiling. Ow. Alright, my favourite little bucket for putting all my prawn nets in is a pot plant bucket because I don't even bother getting it back out. I just run a good lot of water through it and it just runs straight out the bottom and it'll all dry. And then for my 8 kilo bucket, I just use one of the grey baskets from Kmart. And again, I just give it a hose out like this and it dries in there. So I don't bother with fabric softener or anything like that. Like I've had those nets for a couple of years and they're still sweet as. But you can, if you want your net to be really soft and plush, you can put a Alps fabric softener or something like that in there. And it'll make your net really, really soft and that, but don't need to do it. Make it easy on yourself. This thing you could cook an egg on. Holy. We'll start with the cod first. Oh, big slippery bugger. So, real slippery actually. If you haven't got yourself one of these knife sharpeners, they are cheap. From what's it, probably like 20 bucks from Kitchen whatever it is, but they are like 6 or 7 swipes through that. I swear by them. I buy them all the time. They're awesome. I already sent Cezzy some photos of the cod. She's looking forward to it. Cod is always a bit of a soft flesh to fill it, but oh, it's just such good eating. I like to, bone the fish before I skin it. Don't know if that's right or wrong, but I knock the bones out before I skin it. Yeah, bones are out. There we go. Got a beautiful fillet of cod. And the tusky. Beautiful eating size tusky. You can feel my back getting absolutely smashed by the sun. How bad? Sweat. Oh man, it is absolutely boiling. Anyway, we'll do this, we'll do the rest. I'll show you a little trick that I like to do with the prawns. So we'll do that in the aircon. I'll show you just quickly what I like to do with the prawns, but look at this. How's that for a good plate of tusky and cod? Two of the best eaten fish in the sea. So we're gonna have that tonight. Probably just crumb it up. But this is about the size of the prawns. This is one of the larger ones, but there is smaller ones in there, but that's about, you know, that and a tiny bit smaller is what we're getting today. It's very weird that at the beginning of the season, like it is now, that we're getting prawns this big. You would have seen like 2 weeks ago, the little tiny ones that I was getting, which were about that big. So, you know, and if you didn't see the recipe that I did with them, just go back to the last video. We used fennel salt and we fried them in a really hot oil, and you just eat the whole prawn and they are absolutely delicious. Like, probably one of my favorite ways to eat prawns. But I'm gonna show you when the prawns are this big, okay, this is what people basically go out there to get these big ones for, and that's cutlets. Cutlets are absolutely delicious. So that's all we're gonna have tonight. I'm so excited about dinner tonight. So anyway, this is what I do. Drop a comment below if you've got a different way of doing it, but I literally cut the whole head off, all right? Then I will peel half the prawn, like this. All the legs. So you get all the legs off, like that. And then you're just left with the tail and that little bit, all right? Then what you wanna do, come from the top, and I will pretty much cut the whole way through that prawn until he's open like that, all right? And if there's a poo vein in there, you want to do it. So that's what your prawn will look like, okay? And I'll show you later where you can either batter that or crumb it, and mate, that is absolutely delicious. So we'll put that one in there, and then we'll move on to the next one. You can see this one's got a big poo shoot in here, so I'll show you exactly what I do with that. So again, cut his head off, all right? If you leave them frozen overnight, they seem to be a little bit easier to peel, but who wants to get that done? And also I get itchy fingers after doing heaps of prawns, like almost like a slight allergy to them, but I've been all right so far eating them. So on the top of this one, slice down, you see that big yucky poo shoot there, just pull all that off, and that's going to go in a separate bag. Happy days. Just keep doing that. Righto, found a good pair of gloves. Laugh at me all you like, but it makes it just so much easier to do this. Alright, so I've got about 20 now cleaned and butterflied like that, ready for some prawn cutlet action tonight. Right, another one, that's how you want them, with the tail still on, then you can just go pop that last little bit out of the tail. Okay, now the rest of them. I find the best way to, if you're wanting to cryovac these prawns and you can't be bothered peeling them, is a really good little way. Is see that spike on the front? That will spike a hole in your cryovac bag every time, okay? So you can either snap that off, all right, or you can chop the head off, and that's awesome burley and bait and everything. Then on the back, you'll see this little spike here, all right? That little spike, it's just under the tail. You wanna pinch that off and snap it. Right, then you can cryovac that, and there's no spikes, no nothing, and then they're very easy to peel when they're like, you know, pretty much just defrosted. So you can almost peel that whole thing in one go. When they're fresh like this, they're a little bit hard, but that's perfect. You can cryovac them like that, and it won't poke any holes. Or you can peel the whole thing and just have the meat, all right? And that, ultimately, that's what you want to do. If you can't be bothered, you haven't got the time, you can do a whole heap of prawns like this, and just do them later as you pick them out of the freezer. Then these ones here, little tiny greasy prawns. Like I said, go back one video and have a look how we deep fried them in the fennel salt, and you will thank me, trust me. It was so good. All right, you'll see here, I'll whack these prawns in. Enough in there for a feed, or a curry, or a stir fry. Now this would usually pierce holes left, right and centre. But that is ridiculously tight and cryovac. What I do like to do is just sit them all on a big bit of paper towel, and that absorbs all the moisture, and then it doesn't suck up and wreck the seal on the top. But as you can see, look at that. Awesome. So a couple of cool little tips there anyway, if you didn't already know.
I want to say a massive thank you to our legendary Patreons. You guys are bloody awesome. We appreciate the support more than you know. I'd like to welcome our newest Patreon member, Andre Stock. Thanks heaps for the support, you bloody legend. If you'd like to become a Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Outerline Adventures. And we'd like to say a massive thank you to our sponsors. Your support and friendship means the absolute world to us. Cheers, guys.